Welcome to today's podcast, Present Parenting Podcast. Today I am going to be exploring a very important topic on digital technology, with the invention of digital technology, which is being used by our children and also by us. So I'm just going to give more of a narration on how the use of AI is affecting our children and also us as individuals. Before I proceed, please press like, subscribe to my channel, forward this message to others. We are going to be using this book, the book that I wrote, The Impact of Digital Technology on Adolescents' Well-Being. And we are going to do a bit of a book reading on page 6. On page 6, we said this proliferation of digital technology across age groups and social strata led adolescents to use digital technology for recreational, not just for educational purposes. And there is no undoing or reversal of digital globalization. This era has been marked by several tech inventions that are changing the way we used to do things. New discoveries are being made daily, and new inventions are being launched by big companies across the globe. Some of these include driverless cars and buses, robots controlling the production in manufacturing companies, human companion robots, customer service, and experience robots. There are so many things that are going on. And one day I was having a conversation with parents, and this came up that children are living in a virtual world. And I can attest to that, because also my children, they sometimes live in a virtual world. And in this virtual world, you would also be shocked on what your children are exposed to. Some of the children, they now have virtual parents, they have virtual family members, they have virtual friends. And after school or after working, when they are in their rooms, they are actually interacting in the virtual world, where they are playing a key virtual role. And in that key virtual role, they are interacting with virtual family members, they are interacting with virtual friends. So you'd find that they log in and they are also engaging with other people who are actually experiencing the same virtual lifestyle with them. So they tend to live in that virtual life, and when they are communicating or engaging with you, the physical parents, the biological parents, or the guardians, they are comparing you with the virtual family that they are living in when they are having the virtual life. So you'd find that sometimes the children, it becomes difficult for them to differentiate between the real world and the virtual world, and also to differentiate with what is true and what is wrong. So that confusion also makes our children being irritated when you give them instructions, irritated when you want to talk to them, or disturbed or confused when you are telling them about the real life situations, because they are used to be in that virtual life where things are just flowing, or they are in that virtual life where things are just flowing, or they are smoother, or they are actually living in a virtual world that is fiction oriented, and they tend to think that is the way life should be lived. So these are the issues that are coming up. And the funny thing is, it's not just children who are living in this virtual world. Even the older people, like us as parents, the grandparents, they are also living in this virtual world unknowingly sometimes, where they are following these channels or apps, where your phone obviously, or your iPad, it really mirror the way you think, and then it brings you adverts, it brings you the pop-ups that are aligned to the way you are thinking, because it tracks the sites that you visit, it tracks what you like, and then it brings it over and over again. And most parents or most adults, they tend to be confused to understand what is real and what is not real, and what is AI that is bringing that is not correct, or just issues that are that are brought to your digital gadget, and then you start to think it's real life while it's not real. So this issue is really bombarding both parents and adults. So I thought I should bring this to the attention of parents, to say sometimes you are actually living with a child who is more in the virtual life than the real life. So how do you deal with this? As parents, we need to be on the forefront to tell our children that virtual life is not the real life, and you need to keep encouraging them to understand the difference. We also need to encourage them not to be addicted to these digital gadgets, because the moment they keep using the digital gadgets, that is the more they are in this virtual world, which is not the real life. And also this virtual world, it sometimes leads them not to think outside the box, or even to think themselves, because they actually fed more and more information. So you'd find with the research that I did on this book, the goal setting for our children, they are disappearing because they are not thinking. They are actually fed information now and then. They are in this virtual world where life is shown in another way, where everything is smooth, everything is flowing. But the real life is not like that. The real life is full of roadblocks. The real life is full of tribulations. Even the word of God itself, it is specifically told us that you are either in a crisis or you're moving out of a crisis. Tribulations would be there, but the only good thing that we have is Christ will still be with us. So we need to tell our children that the crisis will be there, tribulations would be there. So they need to fight and to keep fighting the battle in the real world, rather than for them to hibernate in a virtual world that is not real. So it is our duty as parents to do that. And what do you also do to adults who are now living in this world? Some of the adults are conned money because they are following these AI programs, and they are told, oh, can you send me this so that I'll send you this iPad, I'll send you this, I'll give you a Tesla car and all that. There are so many things that are happening in the world, and adults are also failing to see that this is fake, this is not real, and now I'm being conned my money. So we need to be vigilant. We need to take an extra effort to understand whether what we are receiving is real or is false. This is the challenge that we are having, the challenge of digital technology, where even unfiltered information is coming and it is not real. Gone are the days when verified news is being posted. These days, any person can just post the news on the platform. So let's be vigilant. Let's be those people who are there to verify before we forward messages, before we believe in messages, before we get stressed because of the messages that we get. Remember to buy your own copy. If you are in Zimbabwe, this book is in all of 8 bookshops. If you are in Abidjan with me, you can get your copy from me. And also remember to subscribe to all my social media handles and to visit our website www.ogfoundation.net.